Hello and welcome, economic students. Today's lecture is on the basic economic problem. So that's where we are going to be talking about. So let's look at the definition of the basic economic problem. The basic economic problem, also known as the problem of scarcity, revolves around the fundamental idea that resources are limited while human wants and needs are virtually limitless. So when you talk about the basic core problem of scarcity just simply means shortage. So which means that the fundamental idea is that resources are finite in supply, that's why they're limited. They can be exhausted or they can be depleted. So that's why when you talk about human needs and wants, they are virtually limitless, which means that's why we have a society whereby we are forced to make choices. So this creates a situation where societies must make choices about how to allocate the scarce resources to satisfy the various competing needs in wants of the people. So you have to understand that we have to make choices. We are forced to make choices because resources are finite in supply. They can be exhausted, and as you know, our needs are limited. So when you look at the basic current problem, it's categorized by three key questions: what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce for. So let's look at what to produce. This refers to the decision-making process regarding which goods and services should be produced in an economy. So which means we're looking at what can we produce as an economy. If you're going to be producing wheat than maize, so which means you have to make a decision regarding the goods and services that you are going to produce in the economy. Because the limited resources means that not all needs and wants can be met. So choices must be made about what to prioritize. We have to prioritize what we have to produce as a nation, or as a country, as an economy, whereby we cannot all satisfy all our needs and wants. Because even Abraham Maslow, hierarchy of needs, he tried to categorize needs, but at the end of his argument, we always get to a conclusion that there is no forcible end to the needs and wants of people. They are virtually limitless. So that's why we are forced to make choices. That's what you have to know about what to produce. So looking at the question of how to produce, the question addresses the method and technologies used in the production of the goods and services. So we are looking at the method that you're going to be using whenever you're going to produce the product. So the most important thing is about how resourceful are we as a nation, whereby we are going to use the available technologies so that we do production in a more efficient way, that we leave a future generation to have their own piece of the pie. So when we use modern methods and modern technologies in our production process, which means that we'll be much more efficient, we'll be not wasting resources. So different production methods have various resource requirements, and society must make decisions how to efficiently utilize their scarce resources. So whenever we use technologies and modern methods, we are going to be able to utilize our scarce resources and be efficiently in providing them. Then for whom to produce for? This question revolves around the distribution of the goods and services. Who are we going to produce for? Amongst the members of the society, since the resources are limited, choices must be made about who gets to consume what is produced. Because you have to know that if you are producing a particular product, who are going to be the end users of that product, end consumers of that product. So we have to know how are we going to look at whenever we make a product, the choices must be made about who gets to consume that product. This involves consideration of equity and fairness in resource distribution. So equity, which means everyone must get a fair share of the national cake. That's the issue of equity. And fairness in resource distribution, which means every economic agent must supposed to have a fair share of the distribution of the resources in the economy. Those economic agencies are supposed to be involved in decision making. Then looking also the basic economic problem is inherent in all societies, which means there is no economy that we can say doesn't have the basic economic problem. The basic economic problem is affecting all societies, affecting all economies around the world. So regardless of their economic system, depending on whether they're using the market system, they're using the planned economies. In a market economy, as you know, it is whereby we have freedom of expression, whereby the free individuals are the one who owns land and other factors. So when you prices and the forces of supply and demand play a significant role in resource allocation. That's where we talk about Adam Smith invisible hand. The Adam Smith invisible hand, the price mechanism, is the one which allocates the resources in a free market economy by using the forces of demand and supply. We are going to be looking at that in depth once we do market systems. In a planned economies, Central authorities make decisions about regardless of resource allocation, regardless of the approach. Challenges remain to efficient allocate scarce resources to maximize the well-being of the society. So it means whenever we're looking at a planned economy, this is whereby we're having the government playing a central role in resource allocation. So that's what's very important whenever we're discussing the basic economic problem. So looking at the summary of the basic economic problem is that the basic economic problem stems from the scarcity of resources, which means by scarcity we are talking about shortage relative to unlimited wants and needs of individual societies. Because we say that there's no foreseeable end to the needs and wants of people, but when you look at the resources that are provided by the planet or the earth, they are finite in supply. They can be exhausted. These societies, this scarcity necessitates choices about what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce for, making it a central concern in the field of economics. That's why we say economics is a study of choices, because everything is centered around the idea of making the proper choice and also looking at how efficiently you can allocate resources for the benefits of all economic agents, everyone having fairness in the distribution of resources in the economy. So that's what we have for today, guys. When you talk about the basic economic problems, so leave any question that you might have on the basic economic problems. I'll be very, very happy to answer them. So thank you very much. I'll see you on the next video.